Because as a U.S. national, I have rights protected by the U.S. Constitution and the Supreme Court. I travel not for business and commerce.
Same thing. Same thing.
If the Mr. Williams in front of us does not admit that the ticket is in his name, is made out to him, I'd ask that the Mr. Williams on the ticket be given a warrant and that this gentleman be removed so we can continue with court.
I'm trying to resolve them, but I'm being threatened.
Count 1, drove while. Count 3, no insurance misdemeanor. Count 1, open intoxicants in a vehicle driver. Count 2.
Welcome back, guys. Buckle up. This one's a legal train wreck you've got to see to believe. We've got a sovereign citizen in court who's basically treating traffic law like it's optional, and spoiler, the judge is not having it. This guy showed up quoting the Constitution like he's got a JD from YouTube University, trying to convince everyone that driver's licenses are a scam and laws don't apply to living men. It's the kind of courtroom chaos that makes you wonder how we haven't had to put a breathalyzer on Wi-Fi. The judge hits him with a reality check so hard it should be studied in civics class. I mean, how do you walk into court with 17 tickets and still act like the victim? Would you rather be stuck in a room with this guy for 10 minutes or fight a goose every day for a year? Let's dive in.
Furnish false forged info to police officer. Driver's license never acquired. Count 1. Count 2, no insurance misdemeanor. Count 3, drive unregistered untitled vehicle. Count 1, open alcohol in a motor vehicle driver. Count 2, tinted windows. Count 3, operator or front seat passenger failed to wear a safety belt. Count 1, drive unregistered untitled vehicle. Count 2, if that same ticket is drove while unlicensed.
Tyron Ruck on behalf of Mr. Timothy Williams. Mr. Williams, state your name.
I object to counsel.
What was that?
I object to counsel.
Your Honor, I spoke with Mr. Williams. He's saying it's not him, and he's all rights reserved. His name is all in all capital.
I object to representation.
This man walked into court like he was auditioning for a role in Law & Order delusional unit. I mean, who casually racks up 17 tickets and then acts like they're the one being wronged? It's like watching someone light their own car on fire and then sue the fire department for showing up too fast. I don't know if he's brave or just allergic to accountability, but either way, let's see what kind of nonsense he throws out next.
What was that, sir?
I object to representation by you.
Okay. So you would like to represent yourself, Mr. Williams?
I'm not representing myself. I'm just here on special appearance, trying to clear this matter.
Okay, so you have to be the person in order to clear these matters. You just can't appear on behalf of someone unless you're an attorney. Are you an attorney, Mr. Williams?
I'm not the person, but I'm the live living Williams, not the Timothy Williams.
Are you Timothy Tally Williams? Do you know Timothy Tally Williams?
I am Timothy Williams, the living, breathing Timothy Williams, not the all cat that stays on my ticket.
Okay. All right. So do you want to try and resolve these today or no?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So you need an offer? Is that what I'm hearing you say? Because we can try and resolve all these tickets today if you want to.
Well, I'm just, because as a U.S. national, I have rights protected by the U.S. Constitution and the Supreme
Okay.
Court.
So if you travel, drive, ride, anything on the city streets of Detroit, then you have to follow the rules that the city of Detroit has imposed. And so if you have not followed these rules, then you receive something called tickets. And these tickets are given to you based on the license or prior license or identification ID that is given to you. So we can either resolve these today.
This guy really showed up acting like the courtroom rules are just an optional side quest. He's out here talking like the Constitution is a personal get-out-of-jail-free card. Meanwhile, the judge looks 2 seconds away from slamming the bench out of pure secondhand embarrassment. It's honestly wild how confident he is while making zero legal sense. Like watching someone try to fix a car with spaghetti noodles. But hey, maybe in his imaginary country, traffic laws are just suggestions. Let's keep going and see how deep the delusion rabbit hole goes.
Or we don't have to resolve them. It's okay. But I would like to try and resolve these so that you can move forward and do whatever you need to do.
Yes, I would like to resolve them, but as the officer is seeing in his computer that by the Secretary of State, my ID has been rescinded, canceled. I have a passport, and I'm traveling. I don't drive. I just drive here.
Hold on, but if you drive in a vehicle, you need to have a driver's license. Your passport does not enable you the ability to be able to drive on the streets of Michigan.
I travel not for business and commerce. I just
Same thing. They have to have licenses as well. Have you ever heard of a truck driver without a license that drives on the commutes on the freeways, roads, or byways? It does not happen. You have to have a license to drive on the city of Detroit, state of Michigan, all 50 states are under my assumption and ability. So, Mr. Williams, I can't go back and forth. I have a lot of people on my screen. I know you can't see. We can have this discussion, but it just has to be near the end of the docket if you don't want to resolve it right now. Okay?
But for the record, Your Honor, I don't draft.
Go ahead.
For the record,
Okay.
I do not draft.
Okay,
Your Honor.
so how do you want to resolve it today? If you don't want to resolve it, I have to move to the next person, Mr. Williams.
I would like to resolve this matter.
Okay, all right. So would you like me to get you a? Yes, Attorney Snyder, go ahead.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Alexa Schneider for the people, P80322. If the Mr. Williams in front of us does not admit that the ticket is in his name, is made out to him, I'd ask that the Mr. Williams on the ticket be given a warrant and that this gentleman be removed so we can continue with court.
To Mr. Williams on these tickets.
Excuse me?
I said, is it you, Mr. Williams, on these tickets? Because that's
So-
fair. That means that I'm talking to someone who doesn't have these tickets in my courtroom, and so that person has not appeared. But I'm assuming that it's you. Are these your tickets, sir?
Finally, someone in that courtroom decided to stop entertaining this legal fairy tale. The prosecutor didn't just shut him down, she basically handed him a one-way ticket back to reality. It's like she said, if you're not the guy on the ticket, cool, then disappear, poof, be gone. I swear, if common sense was a sport, she'd be MVP, and this guy wouldn't even make the team. Was that too harsh, or exactly what he deserved?
If you assume, yes.
Oh.
I stand.
So do you want to, Mr. Williams, do you want to resolve these or not? We can't keep going back and forth. You want to take care of these today with some type of plea or no? That's my only.
I'm trying to resolve them, but I'm being threatened by prison.
Prison. I'm not sending anybody to prison today. I'm fining people. That's all I'm doing. I'm giving them fines, monetary fines.
The prosecutor just said she issued a warrant. She recommended a warrant be issued.
Right, but you're not gonna get arrested, but she's saying if you're not gonna say that you're the person on these tickets. Mr. Williams, I have 20 people. I can't argue with you at the beginning of the docket. I can argue with you at the end of the docket. So I'm gonna skip over this matter so we can continue. Let me get everybody else out, then I'm gonna give you all the time in the world and we're gonna figure out what to do with you today, okay? I don't mind taking the time, but I got all these other people on here who are looking like, come on now, okay? So just give me a moment. We call on the matter of the people versus Timothy Tally Williams. These matters were called on the record previously. I took a moment off. We had quite a busy docket this morning, and I want to make sure that we could give Mr. Williams adequate amount.
So now he's stuck waiting around like he's at the DMV of bad decisions, all because he couldn't just say guilty or not guilty like a normal person. And the next part is just pure gold. The judge starts explaining basic legal stuff like she's walking him through a first grade math problem, and he's still looking confused like she just spoke another language. It's honestly less of a courtroom and more of a daycare for delusional grown-ups. Let's jump back in and see how much deeper he digs his hole.
Time to be able to have and all of his questions answered about the matters that are before this court today. Appearances for the record, starting with the city attorney, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. Alexa Schneider for the people, P80322.
All right. He continues to not want counsel. Is that correct, Mr. Williams?
Correct.
Okay. Can you state your name for the record, please?
Timothy
Last name?
Williams.
Okay, sir. Now you've had the opportunity to sit and look and see how everything pans out and how everything works, Mr. Williams, right? Did you want to be presented with an offer today, or how do you want to move forward?
Well, the offer was to get all this.
So the offer was, I think, so he had some extra cases, Attorney Snyder. So it was FTD, failed to display a valid operator's license, and an open alcohol passenger that was being offered in exchange. We did have a couple of tickets in default, another open intoxicant driver, Attorney Snyder, and it was forged or false police information to a police officer. He may have just given him like a ID that expired. But if you plead to those two cases, the remainder of your cases will be dismissed.
No, I was talking about the agreement between me and you was to get this sorted out today. That's,
Right, so so the options are, so these are your options. You can ask for a pretrial. That'll give you some time to get documents together and to get everything back in order and then present it to the court. You can ask for a bench trial. That's a trial before myself as the trier and finder of facts. Every single one of these officers who have made these allegations would have to appear on that date and come into court. Or you can ask for a jury trial. That's when the officers is in person. 6 citizens of the city of Detroit will make the decision based on the law. Officers still have to come in. You will have to come in at that point in time, and then we can resolve it that way. Those are the 3, or you can plead guilty or plead responsible at this point in time to the offer that has been extended to you. Those are the 4 things that we can do to resolve it today. And I guess the 5th one is if you don't want to do any of those, then it just remains as is and it just remains there. And then eventually it goes into warrant status.
Yeah.
All right, so I said,
rights, and I don't understand what's going on. So
okay. I don't know if they'll be able to help you. I really wish you would let us assign some counsel to you. They may be able to talk to you and help you understand a little bit better.
I tried, but he not listening, so I was just taking them on hands.
All right. Sometimes you have to be willing to understand that they're going to give you the law, not necessarily what you're following, but the law that we practice in the state of Michigan.
I have no contract. If I have no contract with the Secretary of State, then like, why am I being took through this? I'm going through the proper procedure to have my rights protected under the Constitution and Supreme Court. So.
Nice try, but that legal mumbo jumbo he's spewing has nothing to do with reality. The states have every right to handle traffic violations. It's literally backed into the system, not some secret trick he can just wish away with word salad. And don't even get me started on that whole I'm not driving, I'm traveling nonsense. Bro, you were in a car, not teleporting through vibes. I can't tell if he's actually serious or just role-playing as a courtroom philosopher, but either way, it's a wild ride.
Michigan?
Of Michigan, what?
No, I'm saying the Supreme Court of what jurisdiction? Michigan or the United States of America?
United States of America.
All right, they wouldn't have jurisdiction over local matters though. And that's gonna be the problem. You're gonna run into every time, Mr. Williams, that local matters are held. The Constitution extends the right for us to locally handle certain matters, such as ordinance violations, misdemeanors, driving offenses.
Right, so if I'm not a U.S. citizen, I'm a U.S. national. What jurisdiction does that fall under? I'm not a resident or a U.S. citizen.
Oh, you don't live in the United States of America?
I live in the United States of America, but not under the jurisdiction.
So that's your resident. Are you born, like, do you have you said you have a passport, is the United States of America passport?
United States of America, but not the United States, the federal territory.
Oh, you didn't get so you don't have like a federal passport given to you. It's not a passport issued by the United States of America.
It is. Now my status is corrected.
And just like that, our guy exits stage left, still confused, still confident, and somehow still convinced he's above the law. He's dragging this whole thing to pretrial like he's building the case of the century, when really it's just him versus basic traffic rules. Honestly, if delusion were a legal defense, he'd be walking free right now with a medal. I give the judge credit for not bursting out laughing, because the patience it took to sit through all of that is nothing short of Olympic level restraint. Now don't get me wrong, judges are supposed to be fair, but that doesn't mean they have to babysit people who think the Constitution is a choose-your-own-adventure book. The 10th Amendment gives states the power to handle stuff like this, and no, capital letters on a ticket don't magically make it invalid. That full faith and credit clause, it means your mess follows you from state to state like a legal shadow. If this guy actually believes he found a glitch in the system, I hope someone tells him Google isn't a law degree before he ends up back in court with 17 more citations and a YouTube playlist as his legal team. But hey, I could be wrong, maybe he's playing 4D chess and we're all just too basic to see the plan. Let me know what you think in the comments. Is this dude trolling hard or actually living in his own sovereign citizen fantasy world? Either way, if you enjoyed this courtroom roller coaster, hit that like button, smash subscribe, and stick around because I've got new videos dropping every single day. I appreciate you all for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.